So lads and lasses, let's talk about Mourinho's first press conference of the season. As always, if you're new here, in preparations for a match, we talk about the preview, therefore predicted 11, and we talk about our opponents as well. And then after that, we normally go live to speak, to discuss, and to analyze Mourinho's press conference. Now, it was yesterday, but yesterday I didn't manage to go live. This is why it's today, weird timing. But without further ado, let's get cracking, because it's a curious one. It's his first press conference of the season. So therefore, instead of just focusing on asking Mourinho about the match tomorrow, some journalists actually took some time to ask him about the transfer market, to ask if he's happy about the transfer market and all of these things. So if you haven't already, make sure to like smash the like button in this video. And without further ado, let's get into the first question which he got asked. The first question of the season, of the press conference season, which is your last interview is the post-Conference League match final in Tirana. There's only one sentence that you said after that press conference, and that sentence was, "I'm frustrated about the transfer market." Now that the transfer market is coming towards an end, is there still frustration in you? Because something to note is that Mourinho said that he was not going to say anything about the transfer market, but then he got interviewed like in a few weeks ago, before Dybala got announced, before Wijnaldum got announced, and he said, "I'm frustrated." And this, bear in mind, was around 1 month ago. So this is what he said. "I don't like that the market is open while we play. However, unfortunately it is. Assessment, it's premature to talk about the transfer market because it's still not over and there is to wait. We bought quality players and we only spent 7 million euros. It seems obvious to me that something has been done extremely well inside the club. But evaluating now with the transfer market open for everyone is premature because anything can happen. I want to wait. Do I have frustration? That were strong words. We made 5 useful purchases to improve the squad. 2 important players came out, Mkhitaryan and Veretout. Mickey was an owner of the pitch, and Veretout, however, was one of the players that he used the most. We took 4 players and a very good young goalkeeper. I have to say I'm very satisfied, and I said yes to all the purchases. None of the 5 purchases was fully decided by Thiago Pinto and the Fredkins without me being happy about it. I would say that Thiago Pinto and the Fredkins deserve a massive round of applause. I need a little bit more and the season will be great." So, we have a massive shift to what Mourinho was thinking a few months ago to what he's thinking now. That is, it's a massive shift, because a few months ago he was interviewed at, that his daughter has like a jewelry company. He was interviewed at like a ceremony of that jewelry, and he said, "I'm frustrated." And now, one day, one day, because this press conference was yesterday, one day before the first Serie A match of the season, Mourinho says that he's extremely satisfied about the players we bought. We didn't spend a lot of money, and that is obviously something good for this club. Buying the players that we bought, but only spending 7 million euros for Mourinho was absolutely phenomenal. And, he talked about how there were 2 big gaps to fill because 2 big players that Mourinho used a lot left under the names of Mkhitaryan and Veretout. But he's extremely happy, and the frustration that he had, kind of vanished away. However, he says one thing: "I need a little more and the season will be great." Therefore, Mourinho's is also taking a chance to say to Thiago Pinto, "You've done a great job. I admire you because you bought players, spent little money, and my team has improved by a lot. However, Thiago, I just need a little bit more and the season will be great." So what's Mourinho asking for? Mourinho's asking for Belotti here, 100%. Mourinho is, give me Belotti and I'll spark in the air. That's exactly, what Mourinho is foreshadowing. He's not directly saying this, give me Belotti, but in other words, he's saying I need a little bit more. And that little bit more is exactly Belotti. Now, speaking about Belotti, things have slowed down. For the simple reason being that Shomurodov still isn't a new Bologna player, and there is still no agreement between Bologna and Shomurodov. That is the only thing that Belotti and Thiago Pinto are waiting for. However, we might risk it, because obviously, basically every league is starting right now, has started already, and Belotti is still a free agent. So what Belotti has said is, I'm prioritizing Roma. I found an agreement with you. I want to join the club. However, I can't give you a limited amount of time to think and sell Shomurodov. In fact, this week coming will be a very important week, because Belotti has said, not has said to Thiago Pinto, I mean probably, but we don't know, has said, if by Thursday or Wednesday Shomurodov is still a Roma player and there is still no agreement found between Roma and Bologna, unfortunately, I will listen to other offers. And I totally get him. He needs a club. I would love him to see in my club because I think he would be a massive backup striker. But for Belotti's respect as well, he gave a lot of time to Roma. And if Shomurodov still isn't fixed, he is, we can't blame him. You're going to listen to other offers because, other clubs are interested in him. So it's going to be a big week when it comes to the Belotti deal, sorry. But overall, Mourinho is satisfied. And this is exactly the first question that journalists asked Mourinho. Are you happy about the transfer market? That was basically the question. So moving on to the second question. This is a big question, quite a long answer here. And it's about the objectives. The question is, in the second seasons, you usually do even better than the first. How can you do better here after winning a trophy? And listen to this carefully, because this is something which I think is kind of a disclaimer to the fans as well. Not just to the players and to everyone who's writing newspapers, but to us as well. Usually the second season means more work time, more awareness of who we are, of the players we have, of the potential of the opponents. When you change country, you understand even better about the football culture, the philosophy of the other teams. I think that for all the coaches, the second season presents conditions to do better. The truth is that in Europe, to do better, we must win the Europa League. And there are teams there that have unparalleled economic potentials as distant as Earth is from Mars. People who spend 150 million euros every season. But we do our game, we play our game, let's go and have fun and do the best we can. In the Serie A, we finished 6th last season. So far, our squad has improved. But the other squads have improved as well. And that is why during this period where I didn't talk, I saw a lot of people saying Roma is a candidate for the league, Roma is a candidate for the Scudetto, and this amazes me, because to say that Roma are candidates for the Scudetto, I could understand that if there were 18 Scudetti, because only Sampdoria and Lecce have spent less money than us. Milan and Inter Milan, for example, finished more than 20 points ahead of us. They improved. So why are we candidates for the Scudetto? Lazio have spent 39 million, and why aren't people, speaking about them being candidates of the Scudetto? Talking about us seems to me as people are trying to sell a product that it's not real. We do not sell our smoke. Our Scudetto has already been won, and that Scudetto is the love with the fans. We are a project. It takes time, and it's only been 13 months. Someone like Ancelotti understands it. We want to do better, especially in the league. Leave us alone to work. Very big quote, very big disclaimer to the fans. What is Mourinho saying here? And this is exactly what I've been saying for the past few weeks. What Mourinho's saying here is, our objective coming into the season is nowhere close trying to win the league. And this is exactly coming out of Mourinho's words. The objective is not to win the league. And Mourinho doesn't like this hype that people are creating around the team now that they bought top quality players. Because it's true, in a way. Mourinho doesn't want this hype. Because what happens? If all of this hype is accepted, if all of this hype is listened to, and then at the end of the season, we look back and we were absolutely trash, it doesn't present a good picture to the club. That is why Mourinho is going, don't you dare put my club, on top of the list. Don't you dare put my club as the candidate for the league, because we aren't. The simple answer to this is, we wish, we can dream about it, we can work exceptionally hard to try and work for it, but, starting the league today, our objective is not to win the league. And it's so important to not over-exaggerate objectives. Because what happens, if we over-exaggerate objectives, then every single player will feel the pressure, and at the end of the season, if they don't win the league, if they don't win the Europa League, then they will look like absolute morons. So it's also for the players' respect that Mourinho's saying this. So it's important to acknowledge this. And you see, it's wonderful to think about the league. In fact, who we bought, Dybala, Wijnaldum, definitely gives us and puts us on a higher stand than what we were last year. But it's too early to think about the league. And right now, it's an unrealistic objective. Unrealistic is extremely important. And then, there is the first beef of the season between Roma and Lazio. It's a derby, one of the biggest derbies of the season, as you probably saw from the vlog, which I filmed last season. And it has already sparked, it has already been triggered, because Mourinho said, to say that Roma are candidates for the Scudetto, I can understand that if there are 18 Scudetti. Why are people putting us as candidates for the Scudetto, and Lazio, who spent 39 million euros, not? And Sarri, in his press conference, has said, responding to this, if Roma does, Roma getting second, he kind of said, dear Jose, for Roma to get second, it would be a delusion. So again, Sarri's kind of warning. You see, it's lovely because that's just, I see it as pure just jealousy, if you see what I mean. It's just, they love doing this. Lazio are really famous for being really kind of jealous of their biggest opponents. That's exactly the perfect example of being jealous. Because Sarri's saying to Mourinho, if you don't get second, you're a loser. Because with the team you have, I wish I could have that team. And that is exact definition of being jealous. So already, the first beef between Roma and Lazio has started. And yeah, kind of, again, he said, a Europa League, to do better in Europe, we need to win the Europa League. Again, if you examine the Europa League situation, there are going to be teams who spend millions and millions and millions more than us. There are going to be teams who come down from the Champions League into the Europa League who spend even more money. Right now, coming into the season, where we can't expect anything because we don't know our opponents and how they play, Mourinho said it very clear. And I love what he said. He said, let's go play our game, let's have fun, and do the best we can. And to end this quote, he said, leave us alone to work. Leave the team alone. Leave it alone. They do it. They do the job. Let them play. Let them have fun. And, Mourinho's already created a family. Let him do his work. He knows the club. He knows the players just like his children. Leave him alone. So, yeah, wonderful quote. Just to put to perspective, our objective this season isn't the league. Two more questions, which are way shorter questions. One is about a tactical project, which is, I wanted to ask you about your team ideas, if anything is changing in your tactical project. And Mourinho's kind of linked back to the the four defenders at the back. And he said, for defenders, we have to work, and we have worked on three-man defense up to now, which is more suited to the characteristics of our players. We have the ability to play to four, but we have to work on it. So he's kind of saying, expect a lot of matches. Expect a lot of matches where instead of playing with three defenders at the back like last season, this year it's most probably going to be four, just to adapt everyone, especially now that Wijnaldum came, Pellegrini, Matic. It's way better for us to start all of these players together to play with 4 defenders at the back. And that means that Ibanez wouldn't play because Smalling and Mancini would start. So he said that is our objective. So that's something we're looking to. That's something that we are going to use this season, but we need to work on it. And that kind of suggests to me that tonight we're going to start with a 3-man defense. Because if he's saying we have to work on it, then today I think we're going to play with just like we played against Shakhtar Donetsk and the rest of the season, last season. So I think today would be 3 defenders at the back. But he will definitely work and adapt the team to 4 defenders. And then the last question is finally on the game, on today's game. What game are you expecting today? Tomorrow? I mean, this press conference was yesterday. So the question was, what game are you expecting tomorrow? Let's rephrase it. What game are you expecting today? My golden bench would go to Nicola. Congratulations to him. As always, in the first race, I expect the emotional aspect to be difficult to manage. It's a difficult field with very passionate fans. I look at it with the usual responsibility and with the awareness that it will be a difficult game. And it is a very difficult game. He's giving a shout out to Nicola, who changed the mentality of Salernitana. Look at last season. Salernitana saved themselves because they changed the manager and therefore they changed the mentality. Because otherwise, they would have definitely not saved themselves. And yeah, I mean, even myself needs to give a massive shout out to Nicola because he changed the team. And so congratulations to him. I expect the emotional aspect to be difficult to manage. What does that mean? That means that the first match of the season is always a very, very hard match to read. Look at Inter yesterday. Their lucky ass saved them. Look at Milan yesterday, conceding 2 goals against Udinese. Look at Monza losing their first match and conceding 3 to Torino. You see, anything can happen in the first match. It's a very bastard game week. So, obviously, the players need to get back adapting to official matches. And that's why it's going to be a difficult match. An away game in a stadium where fans are very passionate and all of this. So it's going to be a tough game. And I don't think it takes a genius like Mourinho to say that. I think, we discussed this in the preview. It's going to be a very tough game. The fact that we won 4-0 against Salernitana last year does not mean anything because they're a different team with a different manager, with different players, with better players, but especially with different mentality and different philosophy of football. So we shall see what happens tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But this is Mourinho's press conference analysis / reaction for his press conference against Salernitana. If you're buzzing for the first game of the season, make sure to smash the like button in this video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Obviously, tonight live watch-alongs are officially back. So set reminder, it's already on. Just click the bell button so you will be notified when that stream starts. You don't want to miss it. It's the first match of the season. Didi, Paolo, no, that's the same person. Paolo, Pele, Nico, Tammy, all together. Gini will most probably get subbed in. Let's relive this season the best way possible. Let's have fun. Let's continue like we ended. And it's going to be great. So if you haven't already, set reminder for tonight, live watch along, which starts around 8:30 Italian time, 7:30 UK time. Just figure it out where you live, where you're from, and don't miss it because it's going to be a good one. And obviously before that, we've got Lazio playing. A few hours before our game, we've got Lazio playing at home against Bologna. Obviously, up to Bologna. By the way, today, look at this. I did it. Look at that. The Bala. I bought it, and I was at the official Roma store, and I saw Mihailovic's assistant. Mihailovic's assistant. So that was good. Didn't say anything because he was on the opposite side of the street. But if I met him in person, I probably said, beat Lazio 3-0, beat Lazio 4-0, give them a shock at the start of the season, and that's definitely what we show hope tonight. And yeah, you know what that means. And yeah, we shall see what happens. Let's see. Let me read some comments and then I'll catch you tonight. Any transfer news? No transfer news in these days. You can definitely see that the attention has shifted to the games. We're still working about Belotti in the background, but we need to be careful because if we don't end the deal, the Shomurodov deal by Wednesday, Belotti will start listening to other offers. A lot of credit needs to be given to Thiago Pinto for lowering the salary bill and making profit this market. Totally agree with you. Thiago worked really hard this off-season. This is what a growing project looks like. Looking forward to this season's magic. Yes, indeed. Can't wait for the game number 1. Can't wait as well. You know, like watch them tonight. You don't want to miss it. Here's the start of a great season, Sarah Germanicus. Welcome, Andrea in the chat. If able, support Simon and his dedication to the fans and Giallorossi. Appreciate the support, appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Germanicus just became a member. Wow, thank you so much, Germanicus. And thank you so much for it. We need a winger. Please, we need a winger. I mean, no transfer news about wingers right now, so I definitely think we won't buy a winger. I'm sorry if I just broke your dreams, but I don't think we'll buy a winger. We have a great team and defense is not that good, but defense is not that good. Haran Tutmich is buzzing about the start of the season. I don't know why we're so focused on Belotti. We should sign a defender since that is the weakest part of the team by far, says Victor. Sorry could have had that team, but he chose Lazio and thank God he did. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Well said from the GOAT. Roma can be underdogs by surprising everyone, but we don't have to get carried away by thinking we're going to win the league. Exactly that, Ayuba Aziz. By the way, I'm sorry for mispronouncing any name, but yeah, that's exactly what Mourinho said. You think we will do well in Europa League? I hope so, and I think we will. But it's going to be way tougher than the Conference League, obviously, because we've got way tougher opponents. And yeah. Is Zagadou coming? No new news on defenders. Do they still have Ribéry? They do have Ribéry. Ribéry feels like he's 88 years old and he's still walking on the pitch. So if he scores today... Why did I ever say this? Why did I ever say this? Yeah, by the way, they do have Ribéry. So let's be careful about him. Predictions for tonight, people are saying. I'm going to be positive because we're going to come into the season really good. Especially, we won the Conference League, both players. I'm going to go 2-0, which would be amazing if we can start the season with a clean sheet. Yeah. So yeah, 2-0. How can we be title contenders when we always spend 7 million? Yeah, that's exactly what Mourinho's saying. Amazing season, go, 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 boys, says Emmanuel. Predictions are 2-0. 2-0, I think. I hope we can find a way to get Wijnaldum into the starting lineup. I don't think he deserves to come on from the bench. Oh, Wijnaldum will definitely be a starting player. He just won't start tonight just because, you know, he needs to get that fitness back. He'll get subbed in tonight, I think, but he won't start. But he will be a starting player. Simon, this season is going to be magical, says Cedric. Can Thiago Pinto first buy Belotti and later sell Shomurodov? He may regret waiting. True, but if we then don't sell Shomurodov, that is, you know, a bad thing because we would have too many players. So the plan is to sell Shomurodov and then buy Belotti, but I'll keep you updated if anything new happens. We need a centre back, a centre defensive midfielder, and a left wing, says Taha Abduruf Fritis. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you tonight. Set a reminder for the live watch along if you haven't already. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, smash the bell button. Follow me on Instagram or there in the orange box over at Simon _AS _ and over on TikTok or at AS Roma Theory. And I'll catch you tonight. You do not want to miss it. Up the boys. Simon out.